Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Slot Cars. Today we're in my podcast studio doing the recording, so it's a little different than normal. Usually I'm recording on my iPhone, mainly because it's easy to edit and easy to move around my track. But today, this video is going to be my top 5 cars that I really want to buy. So I've been watching all these videos over the last couple of months and all these new cars that are being released by these slot car companies. And there are some really great cars being released. And so I thought I would make my top 5 list if I was going to order a car today, which I might, I guess I could. But I'm trying to keep this hobby in check. I'm new to this hobby and it could easily get out of hand, buying cars just to buy cars because cars are cool, but I'm not going to do that. So this list is my top 5 cars that I'm enamored with right now. And so I want to share that list with you. And let's get started. So the first one on my list at number 5 is the NSR Porsche 917K, the new Golf liveries. Oh my gosh, those cars look amazing. I'm sure they perform well. I mean, it's a mold that NSR has been using for a while. But man, to release the Golf livery, I mean, who doesn't love a Golf livery? I mean, really, I know that some people might get tired of them. They get old, but man, they're just such a classic livery. Love them. My problem is that I would want to order both of them because both of them are just different enough. They just look fantastic. I'm sure they're great performing cars. So that's number 5. Number 4 is a car that's not out yet, but when it does come out, it would be tough for me to not order one. And that's the new MR slot car, Shadow, DN4. Yeah. The Shadow DN4. So when I was a kid, I borrowed my uncle's slot car track. I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and a neighbor kid, who was a high school kid that lived next door to us, he brought his slot cars over and played on the slot car track, and he had an HO scale of the Shadow, and that's probably why I love the old Can-Am cars, because he had that Shadow, and it was like his baby. And I just remember that car, and the fact that MR slot car is making one, I'm super excited about that. That will probably be a car that I order once they release. Pretty excited about it. Number 3 is the new Policar, the Ferrari 412P. And the reason why I mean, who doesn't love a Ferrari? It's red, which is the color that Ferrari should be. It's a beautiful car, but I love the Ford versus Ferrari, or Ferrari versus Ford, with my slotted GT40 that I own. And you throw the Policar Ferrari on the track together. You know, there's just something nostalgic about that. So, as you can see, I really like vintage cars. Those are my favorite slot cars that people are producing. And if you notice that so far on the list, I don't have any Carrera digital cars, but yet my track is a Carrera digital track. So these are all cars that I can't even run on my track without putting a chip in them. So that should tell you something. Carrera, you need to release more vintage race cars. I own the 917K Carrera digital. Yeah, you need to release more of those. Okay, number 2 on my list is the Thunderslot Lola T70 Mark III. Now, I really like the number 7, the Le Mans, the Axelson livery. It's the light blue, like the baby blue with the yellow stripes. I think that's just a classic look in the Lola. Fantastic livery. But then they released that special edition kind of at the end of the year. Maybe it started shipping in January, which is kind of like a burgundy maroon color. Man, that thing is sharp. Love it. So I really love to try a Thunderslot. Hear great reviews about them. They're super fast. And that's just an exciting looking car. I just love the old Lolas. Number 2, that was number 2. Now, before I get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is the Carrera Digital, the new Chevrolet Corvette, the C8R. that car looks fantastic. I think that Carrera did an amazing job of molding that car. It looks so great. And I don't own one, but there are 3 of them that run on my track. My buddy John Mark owns 2. He owns the gray, the silver, and the yellow livery. And then I bought my dad, he's a Corvette guy and owned a Corvette for a while. He had a Z06 and it was an amazing car. And so I bought him that, hoping that he would come race on the track. My dad's recovering from a fall he had before Christmas. Fell, broke his leg pretty bad, and broke his jaw. And so he hasn't been getting around very well. But this last Sunday, he showed up to the track, and we had a blast, and he got to run his Corvette. So I really do like that. So I want to give the Corvette an honorable mention. A few other cars, the new NSR McLarens, even though they don't have liveries yet, they're just base colors. I think that would be a great class on the track, is just to run those McLarens. That would be very equal. And you've got some choices in color, and then you could decorate them up, paint them up a little bit, make them your own. They look fantastic. And they seem to perform really well too. So they get an honorable mention. Revo slot Toyota GT1s. I really like those. I think those are sharp looking. I don't know how they perform, but, and they look good. And then I really like the SRC, the Toyota LMPs. Those are great looking cars. My brother just got a slotted, Aston Martin LMP car, and it is a rocket ship. So, it would be fun, to have those cars. So those are all honorable mentions. The number 1 on my list of Marty's top 5 slot cars that he would love to buy right now. And that is the NSR Porsche 9083, the red number 31 livery. Now I know that you can get that car in a few liveries, that I've searched for out there. But when they released the red number 31, even though the car never really performed well on the track, I think they said it made 12 laps before it broke down in the 24 Hours Le Mans. But I just love this car. I think it looks great. The detail that NSR took care of in the details of the paint, and the number, and just how it matches up with the original car is fantastic. It just looks so cool. And a shout out to Dave Kennedy. He took some amazing pictures, and one of the pictures, it's like a side profile of that car. It looks fantastic. It should be a poster on my wall. Maybe instead of the CR8 Corvette that's back there. Those are my top 5 cars. If I were going to order one today, it would probably be the Porsche, number 1 on my list. Just really would love to see that car in person and get it out on the track and see what it can do. So my question to you is, what is your favorite car right now? If you were going to order a car today, what would it be? I'm just really interested in to know what other people are jonesing to buy and put on their track. So again, if you like this content, you want to see more of this type of content, I really try to gear it towards beginners, but I think it's for everybody. We can all have a voice in this conversation about slot cars. I am both feet in on this hobby. I am loving it. I'm really enjoying it. It gives me something to do, occupy my mind, makes me happy. And isn't that where we all want to be, right? So in the comments, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I can keep providing more content that you might enjoy. But again, let me know what you like. Let me know what your next car is going to be. What car is out there that's either just shipping or being released. Maybe it hasn't been released yet, but you can't wait. Would love to know what that is. So thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your time. What the heck's that? Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. Have fun racing.